President Muhammadu Buhari nominated Professor Mahmood Yakubu for appointment as INEC chair. Plus, federal government disbursed 6 billion naira to poor and vulnerable people in Zamfara State. Viewers, a very good evening and welcome to Thunder Blowers Online News. My name is Aisha Usman Ahmed. President Muhammadu Buhari has presented the name of the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, for appointment as the chairman of the commission for second term. In a letter to the Senate President, President Muhammadu Buhari said the submission of name of Professor Yakubu was made in accordance with the provision of Section 1541 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. According to the presidential media advisor Femi Adesina, President Muhammadu Buhari nominated the current INEC chairman for the confirmation by the last Senate in November 2016. The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadiya Umar Faruk, described as baseless the claims that she has brought nothing to Zamfara State as Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. She made the assertion while addressing participants at a stakeholders town hall meeting held in Gusau, the state capital. Our correspondent, Manir Sani Anka, has the details.
The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs, Hajia Sadiya Umar Faruk, has described as baseless the claim that she has brought nothing to Zamfara State as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
On the happenings in our country, and also to intimate you on how the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development and its agencies support our vision for a greater Zamfara and indeed a united Nigeria.
She maintained that, hoping some of 6 billion naira was distributed to the 6 local government areas of Anka, Bungudu, Birnin Magaji, Talata, Mapara, Tsafe and Kauran Namo, the local government, under the conditional cash transfer program.
On the happenings in our country, and also to intimate you on how the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development and its agencies support our vision for a greater Zamfara and indeed a united.
The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs added that the Empower program of the federal government alone has succeeded in accommodating 10,346 beneficiaries, while for the school feeding program, an approximate of 282,529 pupils were being fed in 1,759 schools across the 14 local government areas of Zamfara State.
Zamfara State government has called for the constitution of Joint Committee on Humanitarian Aids involving officials of the state and those from the Federal Ministry for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. Governor Bello Muhammad Matola made the call during the town hall meeting between Zamfara State stakeholders and Ministry for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. Our correspondent has the details. The governor, who was represented by the secretary to the state government, Bala Bello Maru, during the stakeholders meeting, said Zamfara is one of the frontline states affected by armed banditry, kidnapping, cattle rusting, and flood disaster, a situation that rendered hundreds of residents homeless. Hence, the need for the federal government to come to the aid of the victims of this disaster becomes highly imperative. They noted that there is a need for the state and federal government to set up a joint committee that will be used in sharing aids to the victims of these social conflicts as a way of restoring normalcy among several displaced communities in the state.
The complaint we receive from the security agencies is lack of accessibility to the remote areas where these bandits hide.
Governor Matola also called on the federal government to hasten the release of 10 billion naira earlier promised to the victims of these social conflicts in the state, noting that such intervention will be useful in supporting the lives of these vulnerable citizens of the state. He noted that, contrary to the agitation by other sides of the country, Zamfara State has not experienced any brutality emanating from unprofessional misconduct of the police unit, adding that the state government has been agitating for the redeployment of more police officers in order to help secure the territory of the state from the armed bandits' activities. He commended the effort of the federal government for its continued support to the state and promised his administration will always work in synergy with the federal government in order to tap maximum opportunities for the people of the state. The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Sadiya Umar Faruk, said she was in Zamfara to meet with stakeholders and discuss with them on what federal government has done to the people of Zamfara state within the 5.5 years of the administration.
We reiterate our commitment to supporting the state government in addressing the challenges of economic vulnerability in Zamfara state. This we are very committed to. The ministry will continue its partnership with the state government to implement humanitarian, social inclusion, and protection measures in our state.
The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Sadiya Umar Faruk, said she was in Zamfara to meet with stakeholders and discuss with them on what the federal government has done to people of Zamfara state within the 5.5 years of administration. The meeting was well attended by critical stakeholders, and issues that involve state and federal government relationship were extensively discussed. Another batch of 27 students sponsored by Zamfara State Government to study in Cyprus has departed Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja on Tuesday, the 26th October 2020. Special advisor to the Zamfara State Governor on Scholarship Board and Student Matters, Comrade Lukman Majidadi, declared this in a statement issued to Thunder Blowers Online News Media. Our correspondent, Faridat Abdul Majid, has the details.
The special advisor to the governor on scholarship and student matter, Lukman Majidadi, declared that the 27 number of the foreign students have left Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, for Cyprus, leaving behind 21 and 19 others for Cyprus and China who are billed to leave this country by the first week of November 2020. He said the students for Wenfang University, Science and Technology, China will leave the shores of the country as soon as arrangements with the Chinese government is concluded on when their international borders are open. Majidadi said all their tuition fees have been settled and payments for their visa and flight tickets have been made, noting that the first set of the students were able to fly out of the country before the international border lockdown. It could be recalled that the 92 students of Zamfara Indigene have been sponsored by the current administration of Bello Matawalle to study science-aligned courses, engineering and pharmacy at the Cyprus International University, and 45 of them have already left. The special advisor to the governor and therefore called on the general public to continue to support the government of Zamfara and advise the directorates on the best way to go about developing education in the state.
The operators of Kaduna Electricity, KEDCO, have raised alarm that there are over 3,000 households who were without electricity bills, a circumstances they said has cost the company a capital loss of millions of naira. The Gusau area manager Ahmad Mustafa Muhammad, who declared this in an exclusive interview with Thunder Blowers Online News Medium, said out of 41,800 active bills, only 38,000 are deliverable. Our correspondent, Nuhu Adamu, has the details.
The business manager for Kaduna Electricity, Malam Ahmed Mustafa Muhammad, said out of the monthly target of 400 million naira given to the Gusau business area, they hardly generate 120 million per month due to the reluctance of the household in paying their estimated bills, as well as the proliferation of the activities of those described as NEPA 2, and of course the inability of the company to trace some household for estimated billing. He noted that as at now, Gusau business area alone, there are over 3,000 households without estimated bills, and they are enjoying the services of the company uninterrupted, and called for the people to be more alive to their responsibilities at all times.
You see, targets in the real sense is real. Yeah. When we talk about targets, it's real because it's the issue that we measure our electricity in mega and kilowatt. And therefore, there is a meter at transmission ends, and there is a meter at some of our substations. And therefore, most of this energy that you are seeing is being consumed by that customer. But only because there are some factors that maybe people doesn't know. We have a less customers, we have energy theft, we have a lot of leakages. That is why you see sometimes people become to see the target is unrealistic. we have an average target of 40 million. We generate only last month, based on this increment on the electricity tariff, and maybe some people appreciate the supply, decided to increase 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000 from what they were able to collect 135 million. But on average last month, what we are doing is 121, 125. So
on the reason for the skyrocketed billing, the commercial manager appealed to the customers to bear with the company. Hence, the bill was prepared by the presidential directive to suspend. Hence, the bill was prepared before the presidential directive to suspend the use of new tariffs, noting that majority of those affected by the development are people on postpaid billing arrangement, noting that they have already consumed the light before the bills are issued to them for payment. He noted that in Gusau business area, they are dealing with 3 different customers, which include those on maximum demand, those using prepaid meters, and those on postpaid tariff billings. He further used the opportunity of the interview to call on the people who are into buying and selling of housing properties to always take note of unpaid power bills in the course of negotiating a price.
As you are aware, electricity account is created for a single customer. And when we are making a supply in a particular premises, we don't consider who stayed there. We consider who make use of the service in that particular premises. Therefore, we don't know who is a new tenant or who is a landlord or who is the occupant. But what we're after for is there is service and there is account for it. So therefore, we do inform the, the village head, those that are coming in, all those third party, that please, when you are making negotiation of in the process of selling a particular property and it has a supply before, which is there is light, make sure the electricity bill is being put in consideration in making negotiation.
He commended Gusau people for their concern in trying to regularize their relationship with the company and assured them that his doors are open for anything that can improve and enhance their relationship at all times.
Viewers, with this we have come to the end of today's news. On behalf of news editor and production crew, I'm Aisha Usman Ahmad saying goodbye.